Today I have come down to South Australia to the Adelaide Hills four-wheel driving park. I am driving the Mitsubishi Pajero Sport and also getting some really good off-road training. On the exterior of the Pajero Sport, the updates are a new bumper design on the front here and on the back, and also new alloy wheel designs. The new interior updates are a 3-spoke steering wheel, a new digital cluster, and faux leather seats and dark trim. That's just in the GSR model. Now, one of the great improvements is that there are now 3 top tether anchorages installed in the ceiling here for the second row passengers. Before, it only used to come with 1 and you had to install the others yourself. There's also Isofix for the 2 outer second row seats, so you can install 3 child seats across the second row, which is great news. As well as getting to experience these new updates to the Pajero Sport, the main aim of these off-road driving days is for us to learn new skills. Now, I probably do quite a lot of four-wheel driving compared to a lot of families. However, when we buy our four-wheel drives as families, we have these dreams of taking the kids on camping trips and doing off-roading with them. We might not always have the skills, but we might want to get them in order for us to have a better time and to learn new things and take them to places that we wouldn't otherwise be able to. I had the opportunity to speak to Guy, one of the instructors at Adelaide Hills Four-Wheel Drive Park, and I sought his advice on four-wheel driving with families. What would you say are maybe the top 3 things for families to consider?
I would say reliability, for
Yep.
sure. The last thing you want is to be stuck out in the bush with screaming kids.
Yep.
and running
No one wants that.
No, for sure. That's got to be key, and definitely safety, of course. Probably less capability in the car, maybe. Depending on your wants and needs there. But yeah, look, space in the vehicle to fit stuff, potential roof capacity, towing capacity, things like that, because you might be carrying a lot of gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good advice. And some of the things that I've learnt today, one of the things that's really new for me is trying to keep the bonnet level when you're forward driving. Are you able to explain a little bit what's behind that?
Yeah, well, ideally you're searching for grip and you don't want to lose traction at all. So if you keep the bonnet as flat as possible, you're keeping the wheels as flat on the ground as possible.
Yep.
So you're less likely to get one wheel up on the ground and then that starts slipping,
Yep.
which is less ideal for traction, especially when climbing hills.
Yeah.
And then for safety as well. Especially with a family in the car.
Yep.
You don't want to be getting up on too gnarly angles and getting into situations where there might be a rollover risk.
Yeah, that's really good consideration. One of the other things that we looked at was using the car's ability, so things like the different modes for driving, using the hill descent and things like that, and maybe letting the car do some of the work.
For sure.
As well.
It does depend on skill level there and experience level. But look, all the systems built into modern four-wheel drives are there for a reason, I suppose,
Yep.
at the end of the day. Like we've discovered with the Pajero today, the hill descent control works really well. The traction control is awesome.
Yep.
So a bit of understanding, whether you do a bit of training or, looking at YouTube or in the owner's manual and understanding those systems a bit better can really pay off.
Yeah.
What I find a lot is like drivers may not get much training around that technology and not exactly know when it's going to kick in or how to actually use it to their advantage, because it's there for a reason.
Yeah, that's great. And would you recommend that people do an off-road driving course?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely, you get a bit of a third-party report in your driving at the end of the day, and probably get a few tips and techniques that you probably wouldn't otherwise. It brings it into life, and you know, apart from just watching YouTube, I suppose.
Thank you, guys. It's been wonderful today, and also this place is so beautiful. It's got amazing climbing frames for kids. It's got amazing camp spots all along the river, and you can off-road as well. It's just absolutely beautiful here.
It's great for kids.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers.
We learn about the importance of your seating position from the very start and maintaining 3 points of contact with your left foot in the footwell, both your shoulders on the backrest and both your hands at 3 and 9 positions on the steering wheel. Cameron was our instructor at Adelaide Hills Forward Driving Park, and he took us through explaining the difference between traction and grip, the importance of keeping the bonnet as level and flat as possible. He described imagine driving with a bowl of punch on your lap and trying not to spill any. We learnt the importance of setting the car up for the situation you're taking the vehicle into. Then whether you want the diff lock on or off, selecting your driving mode, whether you're on gravel, mud, snow, sand or rock. When you change mode, you can feel the throttle change under your foot to more or less pressure that you need to apply. The importance of letting down tyres to create a greater surface area, an area of grip. On rocks, how that allows the tyre to mould over the rock surface. We played with hill descent on some slopes and how to speed it up with a tap on the accelerator or slow it down with a tap on the brakes. Although hill descent doesn't come naturally to me at all, and I found it very hard to relinquish control and trust the mechanics of the system. It did wonderfully though, and I would perhaps give it another go on occasions in the future. The other option we tried downhill is using the gears, selecting first gear and allowing the engine to do the work. This felt much more natural and achieved a steady speed down the slope. Adelaide Hills Forward Driving Park is stunning. I am shocked to see so many beautiful areas for camping and playgrounds set up around the course. The owner has made a fabulous location for families to camp for weekends or longer and enjoy the scenery and facilities, and to do a bit of off-roading at varying levels. You can also learn how to do it while you're there. Apart from all the great skills I learnt from Cameron, Guy and the team, I learnt the importance of knowing how your vehicle works and what technology it has on board and how to use it before you even get onto any off-road tracks. If the vehicle is set up right, then you are less likely to get into any difficulties. Also, if you drive in the manner of slowly, looking for a flat bonnet, grip and stability, then you're not going to get into as many problems. In order to keep the bonnet flat, we straddled ruts and holes and rolled slowly over anything non-avoidable, always trying to avoid damaging the sidewalls of the tyres on any rocks, etc. The interior of the Pajero Sport feels cosy and comfortable. It doesn't have a modern, minimal feel like new cars now, but I like that in an off-road vehicle that I'm going to settle into and cover a lot of kilometres in. Its towing capacity is 3.1 tonnes, which will tow a small caravan or camper trailer for families that want to. I have loved driving the Pajero Sport here. I love driving off-road, and everything that I've learnt, I can't wait to put into practice when I have the Pajero Sport and drive it off-road with my family.